panhandling and where people can be on the streets and sidewalks.
The police department came forward with these ideas. They are currently adopted in other West Valley jurisdictions.
That's Rick St. John, Glendale's deputy city manager, who says Surprise, Peoria, and Tempe in the East Valley have all passed laws addressing aggressive solicitation in some shape or form. So far, the city of Glendale describes aggressive panhandling as, quote, physical contact, touching another's property, or continuing to follow someone who has already said no.
As well, it's Hollywood Brown who is the intended receiver in East.
That's interesting. That's interesting. That's the first time I've heard of a ban of quote-unquote aggressive panhandling. For what it's worth, I'm never in Glendale, so I really don't know what the homeless and panhandling situation is like in Glendale. So it's 6:39 p.m., Monday, October 17th, 2022. I am tired today. I did not sleep very well. This is going to be a super short video because most of the way to work, I just needed my iPhone to up in the holder to keep an eye on traffic. Actually made really good time to work, but wouldn't have done it without it. Ended up the best route for me was to take the 143 Hohokam Expressway all the way south from my place to I-10. I-10 to the split, I-17 around the Durango curve, and then to I-10, and here I am. There were accidents on the 202. The 202, from what I could see on the traffic app, the 202 was just a parking lot, pretty much from where I would get on it there by the 143, all the way to I-10, and then there was an accident on the I-10 around 16th Street. So, there was just no point in going that direction at all. I did think about going through the airport again, but then I thought, the last time I went through the airport, it was pretty quick, but there's just a lot of... when you come out the airport, the only direct freeway ramp takes you onto I-10, which would have taken me right towards that accident there near 16th Street. And usually, of course, I end up splitting onto Buckeye and then getting onto the 10 eastbound, which is technically southbound to get to the 17 there at Buckeye Road, and that's a lot of stop and go. And then there's also some slowdowns, in the airport. Even when the airport's smooth, I'm still doing 30, 35 miles per hour through there just because there's a lot of merging traffic. And I went ahead and looked at the traffic view heading south, and as soon as I saw that there was no slowing at all on the 143 to the 10, and then on the 10, across the Salt River, I was like, well, that's a few miles out of the way, but I was driving about 80 miles per hour the entire way, regardless of whatever posted speed limit was. Which, there's some drivers like, oh my God, 80 miles per hour, that's insane. No, in Phoenix, what's insane in Phoenix is not pacing with traffic on our freeways. Generally speaking, I'm a pretty damn courteous driver. I deliberately slowed down a little bit so that guy with his right blinker could get over. There's a guy getting ready to pass me on the right. Not cool. I'm not sure. Yeah. The guy just turned on his right blinker, realized he's headed for a lane that doesn't exist. Although, to be fair, I've made that mistake as well. I do wish they'd continue that lane and make that lane become the exit-only lane for 75th Avenue. But looking at that, it was like there's going to be no delays at all, and there hasn't been. So, a few miles out of my way, but really no surface street driving that I've had to do at all. Other than 46th Street to the the little U-turn on McDowell, and then boom onto the 143. It's kind of funny, the last time I was planning on going that way, I just veered to the right and got on the 202 out of habit. And I just toughed it out, and 202 ended up not being that bad. But it does take some mental discipline for me to know in my head that my destination is here, or any point, this far west, and continue to go south, because it just defies all logic. But got me here quick. So yeah, I didn't really do anything today, and I'm realizing that I've really dropped the ball on following the lawsuit against the city of Phoenix from the property owners around the zone. Yeah, I haven't been even talking about that much lately. Just my apartment and my life and work and the drama with the so-called ex-girlfriend, which, to be honest, really hasn't been drama. It just has been a lot of anticipation coupled with some just annoyed disappointment. But that's been consuming so much of everything that I just haven't even been thinking. I was kind of straightening some stuff on my couch. I'm like, oh, there's all the paperwork from that lawsuit that I just barely skimmed over. I did do a little bit of straightening up in my room. Not that you can tell to look at my room, but in doing that, I did mention yesterday I found my all luxurious, puffy, long lightning charging cable. I also found the CD-ROM with the super huge complaint in that lawsuit, which I'm still thoroughly amused. City of Phoenix's attorneys refer to it as a nuisance lawsuit, which good to know that's they view somebody saying that they need to take care of a situation within their city as a nuisance. I wonder if that's how they also categorize picking up the bulk trash. Speaking of picking up the bulk trash, so for a while it seemed like every time I went driving, I just couldn't even focus on what I was talking about. I'm like, oh my God, piles of trash. They have been picked up around where I live. My alley finally clear, and the streets directly adjacent to my place finally clear. But I've noticed there's still piles of trash on the other side of 44th Street. And also between 44th Street and 32nd Street. Oh, this is interesting.
KTAR has reached out to the governor's office. We're still...
Oh, missed the headline. Anyway, federal government trying to tell the state of Arizona that they need to remove the improvised border wall that was made a few months ago out of shipping containers, trying to say it somehow violates federal law. I'm interested to hear some detail on that. That pretty much what I said is all they said, that it's happened. There's been no action on it yet. There's been no. They didn't give any explanation of how the federal government is claiming that it's illegal. Speaking of people claiming things that are illegal, I stumbled across the coolest freaking auditor channel today. That another auditor channel did like kind of a condensed repost of the guy's content, which is something that I've just absolutely hope my channel never ever becomes. I don't know why that guy's just sitting there. He had the right of way, but you know what? I gotta go to work. Thank you. God, that reminds me of one time I was in a defensive driving class because I'd gotten a speeding ticket on a freeway in a construction zone. It was a super expensive ticket. Didn't want that on my record. Did not want to pay that huge fine. They I think they double the fines. It was already kind of a pricey ticket, but yeah, they double the fines in Arizona if there's any kind of construction signs nearby. And so I took this class, and the instructor, who was a cop, who's a very cool cop, he's the same cop that also told me that the reason that he has busted the most people for DUIs is because they were driving without their headlights, that he otherwise would have had no probable cause to pull them over, but they're driving without headlights at night. So just pulling them over to say, hey dude, you need to turn on your headlights. Is there a problem with your headlights? And then as soon as he pulled the person over, quickly realizing they were drunk and belligerent, escalated it to a DUI. I need to wrap this up, but anyway, so sorry, I just wanted to finish it. So that particular thing, so kind of funny. The instructor, I remember that class was actually a really enjoyable thing, and I hooked up with a chick that I met there. I mean, we didn't get busy, but we did go out a couple times, and that was pretty cool. It I don't know if I was more into her, might have led to that. Anyway, he would do some quizzing of common traffic scenarios to see how people knew the law. And at one point, he's like describing like a four-way stop situation. He goes, so it, who would have the right of way? And I'm like, well, that's easy, the cab driver. Everybody laughed. I got a good laugh at everybody. That was not the right answer, of course. And for those who don't know, I've gotten in some heated debates with people online, and I did see a really good video on YouTube that actually really spelled out how right-of-way at a four-way stop works. But yeah, a lot of people don't. In fact, the most common misconception about right-of-way in a four-way stop is that it's whoever showed up first, which I think is why that guy was waiting for me, because I think I hit the stop sign just a little bit before he hit the stop sign over there, which is, parking lot anyway. So are there any real laws in parking lot? Not in Arizona. But I'm a little congested today. I hope I'm not getting a cold. Yeah, a lot of people think that, and that's absolutely not it at all. It's based on traffic priority. People going straight have the right of way over people turning left. Turning right, of course, you can go if you can do that without obstructing anybody. So, I mean, a person turning right and a person in an opposite direction going straight, opposite direction going straight and go at the same time, not a problem. And if you've got two people where they have, would otherwise have equal priority, it's not based on who came there first, but the person to the right has the right of way. So if there's a guy to your right, you let him go, regardless of what he's doing, regardless of what you're doing. Anyway, I gotta wrap this up. Thanks for coming with on the drive. Sorry if I left some loose ends, but I got to go to work.